What is going on, YouTube? LordZhangFei bringing you episode 7 of the Diablo 1 Hero Challenge, the Hero of the Sightless Eye. The love-hate relationship I have with Amazons and Uber Tristram, they are so difficult but so rewarding once you finally beat them. Going to be taking Uber Tristram today with a Windforce. Let's just get right into it. Alright, first item we're going to be using is Windforce. We are using a very special version of Windforce today, the 1.08 version. Big shout out to HashtagT on US West servers for letting me borrow this. This thing is certainly out of my price range on what I'm able to afford. Now it does come with an extra 30 dexterity, and for the price of 10 strength, definitely a better bow than the one that drops today. It's pretty cool to be able to use this thing and think about how it dropped, who knows, 20 years ago. That is a pretty wild thing that is still on the servers. Next item up is going to be the Gladiator Bane. This does practically nothing in Diablo 1 except armor class. Hurts you a little bit with the -3 attributes, and the -2 damage from enemies is not that great. In Diablo 2, they juiced it up, cannot be frozen, faster hit recovery, poison length reduction, a very nice damage reduce and magic reduce stats, and get up to 40 with the both combined. It is a good armor in Diablo 2, not very highly used though. Veil of Steel, we are using this thing again. We use it for the Mephisto fight and then switch up to a Shako. Of course, the +50 resistance is what's going to be helping us out against Mephisto. Pretty much spitting image of each other. Not a bad helm. The Ruby Amulet, +40 to fire resist. We used that throughout this whole time. Just really need a fire resist on all these characters, so that helped out. The Reset Ring of Perfection, +16 to dexterity and a fire resist of 20%. Not a bad ring to find. And finally, the Cobalt Ring of Precision, 28 lightning resist on Diablo 1 and 11 dexterity, and on Diablo 2 it's 24 cold. Again, Cobalt in Diablo 1 was lightning, and in Diablo 2 they switched that over to cold because there was not a cold element in the Diablo 1 mechanics. But let's get into this run. I'm real excited. Windforce on. Definitely not a run that I've done before. Let's check it out. Go ahead and get this room open. I have the worst luck with that gem. For some reason I can never seem to nail it. Got a few extra rejues we're working with here. This run was extremely challenging. There was a time I thought maybe I wouldn't be able to pull it off. I thought Mavina's was hard, but you take away the Merc, you take away any ability for any auras or anything, and it's just pretty hard. But you know, we got some new strategies going into it, especially against Mephisto. We're not going to be using the Bone Prison like we did last time. Go ahead and cast a quick decoy. Maybe it'll buy me a second. I'm not sure. He dies pretty quick. Pull Mephisto out here, get that life tap on him. We're going to be super reliant on that the whole game. We are using Strafe, and we do have a Naj Staff on our secondary to be able to teleport around and position our Valkyrie, who is going to have a very important role in this. You know, I've never really used Valkyrie too much, at least in a reliable sense of gameplay, but definitely helping out against the other bosses. Against Mephisto, they die instantly. But if you'll notice right here, I found out that if you can get Mephisto to spawn a healthy dose of people up in the northern part, and if you brought him down and just constantly shot him with Strafe here, he wouldn't spawn any guys. It was really weird. Letting me go just toe-to-toe with him. If you check my hit points, I have 728 hit points. This build is a 100% pure dexterity build. It was the only way we were going to have enough damage. So if you can imagine, this is a very frustrating fight. I don't even know how many organ sets it took me to do the Windforce run here. I'm gonna guess, I think it's in the 40s. So it took a lot of good RNG and a lot of good luck for all this to go smoothly as it does. You know, if you'll notice, Mephisto is a nice distance away from me, so he's not really hitting me with that blizzard. That blizzard hurts a lot. And we are just got the right distance between each other to where I can just sit here with strafe and just continually heal myself. So he's going to die soon. Got a guy creeping up on the right. That's what you want to avoid, because if a few guys get down here, I don't know what it does to the AI, but it makes him want to spawn more. And he is dead. That was a very smooth fight. We're going to go ahead and pull Baal out of his little corner there and get him separated out. I thought that Baal was definitely the hardest one to kill. So we wanted to make sure he was the last one that we kill. A nice little trick with that decoy like that though. Notice he teleported right to me. He's extremely far away. And we can get him split off. Thank goodness Naj's teleport staff is in Diablo 1, because without any form of teleport, I'm not sure this happens, to be quite frank with you. Again, we're not using any rare items, so it's not like I could get a teleport charge amulet for the challenge. I'm real thankful. And what was kind of bothered me about this whole run, man, which is funny, is that I always obviously keep my primary to my left side of my screen, but using that 08 Windforce, I just had this like paranoid idea that I would accidentally sell it to the merchant moving around so fast if it was closer to the screen. So we avoid that and we put our bow on the right side. I'm sure people with OCD are probably loving that. Of course, we're switching out our charms here for more damage. Switching out our helms to the Shako. Got to get that attack rating up. Even with a full dexterity build, attack rating was still somehow kind of an issue. Got to make sure we're hitting every single time with that life tap, otherwise it's all for nothing. Diablo, this fight is very tricky, mainly because it can go sideways very fast. If your Valkyrie just can't tank, then we're going to have problems. You know, the Valkyrie does so good in this whole run. It really brings light to how strong they can actually be when you fully deck them out. You know, a lot of those skills, penetrate and evade and dodge and all that stuff, benefits you as well. So it's not like you're just putting a bunch of points for the Valkyrie. It kind of benefits both of you. But I've never really made the strongest Valk I could, and this whole run really showed me that they can be actually pretty legit. Gonna go ahead and get Diablo down here. Just want to make sure those Venom Lords are on the Valkyrie. I mean, look at her in the corner there. She is getting jumped pretty heavily, but she is still doing it up. And what's cool about using Strafe like this is that I'm not just hitting Diablo. So I'm also feeding Life Leech, or Life Tap, excuse me, to those Venom Lords up in the top corner, which is exactly how this is working. Because without Life Tap, there's no way the Valkyrie is going to be able to continue to tank like that. He's going to spawn more Venom Lords. They're going to kill me. And while I can kill the Venom Lords with Strafe, of course, because they are not immune to physical, it's certainly not a fast task. I mean, I don't know if you notice these guys around Diablo, they're taking hits, but they're not dying. And it's because we just don't do that much damage. You know, there was a huge nerf to Amazons. And that nerf, I think it was in 1.10 or maybe it was 1.09. Somewhere around where they changed what Windforce was. That they all got nerfed just to the ground. So they don't do that much damage. They are very fun to play though. You know, it's a lot, it brings a lot of memories from Diablo 1 using the Rogue. Playing a Bowzon. It's just unfortunate that they nerfed it so hard. But Diablo is taking a beating, slowly but surely. And he is going to die. Eventually. Felt really good about that whole scenario happening. I feel like I did not use that many rejuves. And just big shout out to my Valkyrie here for being such a tank. My goodness. I think we're going to clean it up just a little bit. I don't think we're going to kill them all, or maybe we do. I can't remember. It's quite a few pit lords. Now you definitely want to set yourself up for the best scenario here, because Baal is such a pain. I mean, I can't stress it enough. He is literally so hard to kill because he has such high life regeneration, and if you're not doing a lot of damage or have an attack that is guaranteed to hit every time with high crushing blow, then it's just such a battle. Let's finish cleaning it up. I think I'd drop a couple rejuves on the ground just to make sure that I don't have to leave in the fight. Got me a blue Valkyrie here. Those ones cast Nova. Even that little bit of Nova damage is going to help out. Drop the juves. Go refill up. Don't want to pull Baal out just yet. He's still in that top right corner. We switch up for more attack rating. Instead of lightning, it's going to be no lightning damage going on here, so we tank our lightning resistance completely. You know, that's one thing that I really had to do, was find every single possible way that I could get more damage. It was not very easy. With our cold resistance, we're going to make sure that we have enough by slamming a ridiculous amount of thawing potions. This fight could last a long time, so get all ready for Baal. He is such a pain. Make sure we fill up our arrows. You know, that's how bad it was. I'm dropping my gold because I died so many times. And obviously, one death equals a failed run, so got to restart after that. I'm not sure if I will ever go back into a Bowzon run. I think I might for the budget build thing that I'm going to do in the future. But that will probably be the last time. Looks like we lost our Valkyrie. That is all bad news right there. It is getting hot in the kitchen. Got that Baal clone hitting me through the doorway or through the wall. That was a really bad go, but just got to keep on keeping on. It's not going to be perfect. But yeah, I'm dropping my gold just in case I die. I don't lose a whole bunch. I don't know how many millions of in-game gold I lost doing this run. A ton until I started just dropping it. So, you know, you go to town. We got his D-clone to disappear, or his Baal clone disappear. Now those specters, look at that nice line of specters that we got him to spawn on the other side of the wall. That was really good, really perfect, because you really want to make sure he is not spawning a lot of guys. I mean, especially those guys, because they're immune to physical. They're just going to be taking hits that don't need to be taken. Looks like we still got one in there. I think that'll be all right though. Hopefully the firestorm from the torch will kill him eventually. So basically the strategy is very simple. You just get in this house, hit him with life tap, make sure he's on your Valkyrie, and it is pretty much smooth sailing. It's just a long process, you know. Once you get him in this position and he's already spawned X amount of guys around you, the goal, especially being in this house, is for him to spawn guys. Oh yeah, I speeded up, by the way. It was just such a brutal long fight. I don't want to keep you guys here forever. I think the total runtime is like 22 minutes. So we tried to limit that a little bit for a little bit of an easier view. As you can tell though, we're taking him down slowly but surely. It's just a matter of RNG at this point. We are losing quite a bit of mana though. And you know, even if you give him just a little bit of chance to heal, it really sets you back 10, 15 seconds every single time. That happens a few times and you know, he's back to where he started, like he is now, all the way up to the L. You know, it just takes a lot of persistence. We are pulling him out. We're gonna try to go clean up the mess because it just got a little too dicey in there. Not dicey that I was gonna die, but dicey that it just wasn't gonna happen because there were too many people in there. Even looks like we got a Pit Lord Cauldron spawned. Everything's gotta be just perfect for this to happen. Bowzons are not an ideal way to try to tackle Uber Tristram by any means. And, but, you know, with enough patience and enough strategizing, you can really pull it off. Like here, we cleared it out. Now, think about all the extra guys I pulled out of there that are still spawned. All of that's going to play into effect. You know, the more guys on the map, especially if they're spawned by the guy that you're fighting, the less guys he's going to spawn. I'm not too sure if there's a mechanic that you can only spawn X amount of guys. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Otherwise, technically, you could have quite a few, especially in that pacifist Uber run where I sat down there for a few minutes. You know, I was noticing he wasn't spawning more guys until I had killed some, so I'm sure it's a numbers game. I do not know what that number is, though. If anyone does, throw that down in the comments. I've never seen that information before. But we're just going to sit here and keep on chipping away. Once you get no one in there, it's much easier because all of those strafe arrows are going straight to him. We're not wasting any opportunity for damage there. And as you can see, the specters on the outside of the building, they're stuck. It's all kind of the perfect storm right here. And again, our Valkyrie is just a beast. You can play with the big boys, that is for sure. This would not be possible without her. You know, I had to replace my mercenary. Normally the mercenary is the one that takes all the hits and takes the beatings, but you know, the Valkyrie can do it no problem. I was pretty surprised with all that. Like we're getting hit pretty hard there. With only 1,000 life, it's not long before things start to go sideways if he starts attacking you instead of the Valkyrie, and that's exactly what's happening here. Unfortunately, in this tight confined space, I really can't afford to try to move, because even taking my finger off of the strafe shot for even a second is just... And there it is. Oh man, running out of arrows right at the worst time. Go figure. Oh, he's so close. Look at that regen though. Yikes. I don't think we're gonna make it, boys. We're gonna have to go get some more arrows. He's hurting really bad though. Hopefully when I come back he did not regain a big chunk of that life. Looks like we got a couple specters in there. That's the problem with doing this. You know, I had a lot of times where it was going so smooth, and then it can just get so sideways, so fast. Looks like we got a lot of those specters out of the room. Look at that. Now we got 4, I think, sitting on the outside. That's perfect. Leaving us with only one of those demon dudes in there. And it looks like he is back to attacking the Valkyrie, or at least kind of spreading out his attacks between both of us. You know, the further you get down into that left corner, bottom corner, I feel like the more chance he has to hit you. So I'm surprised that we're not getting beat down, because again, if he puts all his attention onto you and not the Valkyrie, there's no way you're doing this. We just have to keep chipping away. Went ahead and got back to regular time here because it is time for Baal to finally die after quite the fight. This whole thing was quite the mission. I didn't do this episode last in the order that I did them, mainly because I didn't want to have the pressure of knowing the whole thing ran on this. But there was still so much anxiety, especially in moments like this, because it looks like he's dead, and there he is. He is dead, but his life would get that low. And then RNG would just slap me in the face with a lot of missed hits, and he would regain his health so quick. Here's the items. We went over them in the beginning, but just to make sure there's no shenanigans. We have a 15 increased attack speed, 100 attack rating jewel in there, using that for Dungos. And that, my friends, is how you beat Uber Tristram with a Windforce Amazon. Now, ask yourself, did it need to be an 08 Windforce? No, it did not. I could have gained 6 levels and made up 30 dexterity fairly easy, but it was really fun to use the item anyway. And again, at level 90, maybe it doesn't happen without it. You have to gain some levels. feel like every point of dexterity mattered. Everything mattered with that. You know, it all adds up. ID this torch and jet on out of here. I think I go over the items in the stash as well. Veil of Steel. I was using this other Godly Gothic Plate of the Titan. Decided to drop it though. Tgods for Mephisto, of course, and there's the extra small charms. Maybe one more Bowzon I got in me, a budget build, if that even exists. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. A 1220 Assassin Torch. That hurts me very badly. Not really, because I'm just happy I'm done. But I will check you guys out on the next series. I think I'm going to release a bonus video that goes over all the items that I didn't use. It came from Diablo 1. But we'll see if I end up doing that. Y'all take it easy, and I will check you out on the next video. Peace.